Well, Don, you and I are here, and the president isn't. He's elsewhere. Where is he?
Well, you tell me.
He was in Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah, and he delivered one heck of a speech, didn't he?
I think it was an interesting speech. Some people, his partisans, are comparing it to Ronald Reagan's "Tear Down the Wall," but it was a speech to reach out to Islam and to tell them that they had nothing to fear from us. So it was played to the Arab world, and he did make some interesting things in that speech.
Is that a good idea for an American president to go to the culture, the nation that is the leading, culturally speaking, nation in the Arabic-speaking world, Egypt, and
the Saudis might disagree with you on that. But.
Oh, I don't think the Saudis think they're the leading cultural nation in the Middle East. I think Arabic-speaking people agree that Egypt is the nation. Mm-hmm. It's for him to go there and make a speech saying, "Look, we want to be your friends. We understand there are differences, but we understand that great nations ought not to demonstrate arrogance, and we want to assure you that we have no hatred for Islam or for any other religion. We are an amalgamation of religions in the United States and of peoples, and we admire the Arabic culture and the Islamic culture." So, I mean, that's a good idea, isn't it, for an American president?
Well, I think generally, but you know, this all gets very complicated when you're talking about a region in which we have an extremist movement of Islamic extremists who are bent on killing as many innocent people within the Middle East and the Arab world as well as in America. And we suffered from that. And I thought it was sort of interesting one thing he said about Iraq. And he said Iraq was a war of choice that provoked strong differences in our country. He said, although I believe the Iraqi people are ultimately better off without the tyranny of Saddam Hussein, I also believe we ought to use diplomacy and all that. I think he could have been a little bit stronger on this tyrant who invaded Kuwait, who declared war on Iran, who was threatening Saudi Arabia, let's face it.
Well, Don,
and, that was disturbing.
Don,
he could have been a little tougher on that.
Believe it or not, there are conservatives who don't hold that position, who think that going to war with Iraq was the stupidest thing we've done in our history.
Yeah, I understand.
I am one of those who thinks that.
Yeah, but I think he could have been a little bit tougher on the threat that's posed to them and to us by Islamic terrorists.
I think they perfectly well understand that threat. Mm-hmm. I don't think he needs to educate them on that threat. I think he needs to educate them as our president on who we are and what we stand for.
Well, he said, we will never be at war with Islam. We are at war with Islamic extremists.
And your point being, I want you to tell me.
Somebody in this administration ought to say that.
Are you disagreeing with him? Are we at war with Islam?
We're getting the signal here.
Or are we at war with Islamic
extremists?
That's
what we're at. Yeah.
Then he was right in saying we are not at war with Islam.
It was pretty sweeping. We're not at war with Islam.
Well, either he's right or he's wrong.
Yeah.
Either you agree.
He could have said, but we are at war with Islamic extremism.
Well, but he didn't say extremism. He said with Islam.
We've got to end it here.
I see. All right.
Yeah. You get the last word.
Absolutely.